to face your LMU Lions. The Lions coming off a scoreless draw against DePaul behind Charlie Pruitt's 8 saves, and the Bruins are coming off a 3-0 win against LMU's rival Pepperdine. So as we get into this one, Michael, what's the lineup looking like for UCLA?
So for the Bruins, at goal we have Lauren Brisky, we have Ashley Sanchez, Kaya McCullough, Kennedy Faulkner, Annika Rodriguez, Karina Rodriguez, Viviana Villacorta, Haley Mace, Delaney Sheehan, Jessie Fleming, and Mary Carmen Reyes.
And UCLA will dribble that one out of bounds for a goal kick, and we'll get you the lineup for your Lions. In goal, the always reliable senior Charlie Pruitt, followed by Jalen Lupo, Serena Bolden, Simone Handy, Melissa Lewis, Allie King, Shelby Cormier, Kaylee Campbell, Skylar Robledo, Emma Tyrenauer, and Maki Kono. And as we get this one kicked off just about a minute in, Michael, who are some key players we should be watching out for tonight?
So for UCLA, I'm looking at two. I'm looking at Mary Carmen Reyes, who's a freshman forward, and then Haley Mace, who's a senior forward. These two both scored in the last game, and they play for the national teams for either USA and Mary Carmen for Mexico. So look for them on the UCLA side. And for the LMU Lions, I'm looking for, Charlie Pruitt in goal. She had a great game last game, 8 saves, so hopefully today she can keep those two out of the goal.
That's right. Pruitt is going to be a big key for the Lions tonight, as UCLA is one of the best teams in the country. Pruitt likely to be very active, and if the Lions want to win this one, she's going to have another fantastic game like the one she had against DePaul, and this will be UCLA bringing the ball forward and taking away. This ball will fall to Robledo. Robledo running forward. No support right now, but still pushing. Robledo opts to drop it back. Cormier on the ball, plays it forward once again, out wide for the Lions. Coming down the sideline, cross comes in just wide of the goal as it fizzes across the face of Brzezicki, and that'll be a goal kick for UCLA.
That's what I like to see, though. Early on, starting against, 8th-ranked team in the country, LMU is on the attack, and they're trying to do something early.
Yeah, great start for the Lions. A nice crowd here at Sullivan Field cheering on LMU as they push forward in what'll be a tough game, but as you mentioned, Michael, good start. Taken away by the Lions again in the midfield, controlled by Melissa Lewis, who's been a staple in that Lions midfield over the last couple of years. Now pushing it forward down the right side, but intercepted. Again, it'll fall as the ball is bouncing around multiple players now. Trying to find possession are the Lions. This one will stay in bounds and taken down. No foul called by the official, and it'll just be cleared down to the UCLA defender. Bruins trying to feel out the Lions now, trying to prevent this Lion crowd from getting into the game. If upsets are to happen, the home crowd definitely will play a role. And we'll see UCLA slowly attempt to bring the ball up, but plenty of pressure in the midfield for LMU. Once again, the Bruins working it along the back line.
UCLA doing a good job so far of really controlling the pace, keeping the ball with them. So hopefully the Lions can kind of control that later on throughout this game.
And that really speaks to the quality of the side that UCLA is. The Bruins, no joke, coming in at 8th in the country, a team that likes to control the pace of play. We'll see if they're able to do that against the Lions. LMU continuing to put pressure anytime UCLA tries to work it throughout the center half of the field, as this ball will come to Sanchez. Sanchez working through the middle half. Another step over by Sanchez, getting the Bruin fans in, which she tries to play it through, and it is just tapped away by the Lion defender. Clearance there, and no Lions ahead. Just a bit of a relaxer there for the defense. LMU sitting back, but opting to attack once the ball comes into the center half. UCLA once again content to work it around the back. Trying to go inside there to Mace, and it will be eventually bounced outside to the Bruins, working back inside, taken away by the Lions. Well done there by Emma Tyrenauer. This one will be cleared out to Bolden along the left-hand side, and a bad touch will send that one out of bounds, and a throw-in back to the Bruins. It'll be taken by Delaney Sheehan.
Besides that first opening attack by LMU, it's been so far UCLA all here, really, as you mentioned, the quality of their play, just controlling the possession so far.
And we'll see if the Lions are playing to catch them on a counterattack. Currently, the way they're lined up, the lone forward is Skylar Robledo. She's been good for the Lions, but if they're forcing her to go on individual runs all game, it could be tough for the Lions to actually get one by a UCLA team that is normally tough to score on. And Pruitt will pick this one up and slow it down for the Lions. Just about 5 minutes into this one, as the sun is setting on the campus of Loyola Marymount University in beautiful Los Angeles, California. UCLA, nice move down the left-hand side, and just heavy touch there will send it out of bounds, but it took a deflection and it will stay with the Bruins. Lions now having trouble controlling possession of the ball in the midfield, as Michael talked about, speaking to the quality of this UCLA side. They are applying pressure to the ball, but a bit of a difficulty controlling it, as this ball will be played towards the edge of the box, taken by Sanchez. Sanchez cross to the back post, and it'll be cleared away nicely by the Lions. I believe it was Serena Bolden there for LMU. And once again, UCLA, relentless pressure, clearing it to the left side of the box. Working on the inside edge are the Bruins. Nice turn there. I'll give a cross angle coming in. Well done there by Charlie Pruitt. And that's the type of stuff that doesn't show up on the stat sheet for a goalkeeper. Not necessarily a save, but avoiding danger. Pruitt, good job there grabbing the cross.
Another thing, too, what the Lions are doing, even though UCLA's been controlling possession, the Lions have been doing pretty well of keeping the players in front of them. So that's big, especially when it comes around, towards their goal, protecting their side. So keeping UCLA in front of them, not letting them make moves behind them, keep them out of the goal.
Yeah, that's something the Lions have done a good job of, as UCLA is pushing forward now. Driving towards the net, through ball just a bit too much on it. Once again, it'll be Pruitt handling that one easily for the Lions. Charlie Pruitt, the senior goalkeeper for LMU, has been fantastic for her entire career, rather. And she's been a real rock in the back line for the Lions. Another big game out of her would likely be required if LMU wants to pull off the upset. Pruitt will send that one towards Tarnower in the midfield, and it'll ricochet back and out of bounds. Ball will go back to the Lions. The Lions coming into this one, if they want to get a goal, likely have to do a better job controlling possession. Playing the counterattack is a reasonable strategy, but against a side like UCLA, they're far too disciplined in the defense to anticipate any mistakes. We'll see if the Lions can turn things around in the midfield and get a bit of possession going forward, as this one will bounce right back off of Bruin and out of bounds, throw into LMU.
Yeah, I would agree. Last game the Lions went in a scoreless draw. Hopefully they can get, create some pressure on this Bruin defense. And, I think they're due for a goal. So hopefully they can work some magic and get one here soon.
Yeah, you're right. The defensive side of the ball hasn't necessarily been the issue for LMU so far this year. We'll see if they can find a way to score goals. That's been one of the problems for this Lions team early on in the season, but much of a feeling out process before we get to conference play. Another clearance will be chased down by Serena Bolden, but a bit too much on it. It'll go back to the Bruins. UCLA once again working with Sanchez in the midfield. Sanchez lays this one off. Fighting in the midfield is Rodriguez. Physical play there, taking down Campbell for the Lions, but she maintains possession. Great play by Campbell there. Good effort to get back on the ball as she hits it back to Bolden. Bolden now trying to work it out to Lewis and gives it away. Now Sheehan working down the right-hand side, looking to cross, opts to lay it back to Fleming. Fleming now in control. Once again, Sanchez driving towards the box, beats the defender down the right-hand side, looking to cross. Ball comes in, dangerous for the Bruins, but sniffed out by the Lions' back line.
Yeah, so far so good on the defensive front, but as we keep mentioning, with UCLA continue to be down in their, in their zone, it's only a matter of time before they get some quality shots on LMU's goal.
And as you touched upon in the pregame, Michael, UCLA having some international flair to their roster. Jessie Fleming, a member of the Canadian women's national soccer team, playing somewhat of a right midfield role for UCLA right now. Now working back through the defense are the Bruins. So far they've seemed very content to just control the ball with their back line, not forcing the issue against the Lions. As you mentioned, LMU doing a good job of staying in front of their man. We'll see if they're able to keep that going for the rest of the game, as we're just 10 minutes in. Now working it back again, UCLA slowly, methodically bringing the ball up the field as they'll start to push forward here and drop it back once again. Now out to Sanchez. Sanchez makes a nice move, cutting inside, working down the right-hand sideline, plays it to Sheehan. Sheehan trying to run it down, but shielded well by Serena Bolden. That'll go back for a goal kick for the Lions.
Really been impressed by Sanchez so far. She's had a couple of good moves to set up her teammates so far. That one just a little bit too strong, but I would keep an eye on her for the rest of the match.
Yeah, Sanchez done a good job of really pushing down that right-hand side. The combo of Sanchez and Sheehan been where UCLA's gone to create chances so far. We'll see if the left-hand side of LMU, made up of Melissa Lewis and Serena Bolden, can keep them in check going forward. This ball will be hit well deep towards Lewis, a bit too much on it, and it'll be a throw-in for the Bruins. Sheehan to take it. It'll be thrown in easily to McCullough. Once again, the Lions not applying any pressure to the back line of UCLA, really looking to pick up once the ball enters the middle third for the Bruins. McCullough plays it into Sanchez. Sanchez back to McCullough. The Bruins methodically taking their time. The possession numbers definitely favoring them early on.
They're really trying to find the gap in the Lion defense, as you mentioned. Really just controlling, taking their time, setting up their, their attacks with pace. So LMU's got to do something to disrupt that and, make UCLA a little bit uncomfortable.
Yeah, this is a Lions team that's off to a rough start in the season, somewhat still searching for their identity, and a tough matchup here against a very defined style of UCLA could be a big growing point for this Lions team. We'll see how they can develop over the course of this game. Big opportunity to play a team like UCLA early on in the season, kind of feel things out going into WCC play. As a big run by Sheehan is not seen by the back line. UCLA once again trying to take their time. Big through ball here, being chased down by Lupo. Lupo trying to get their shot on goal. Big save, Charlie Pruitt. And as we mentioned, that's what the Lions are going to need to see out of her if they want to compete in this one, as Jalen Lupo was just beat on a nice through ball. But once again, Charlie Pruitt stands tall for LMU, keeping this one tied 0-0.
Exactly, and those are two of the key players that we've mentioned before with Haley Mace and Charlie Pruitt. So it's going to be an interesting battle. Pruitt definitely has her hands full in this game with those two.
Yeah, likely won't be the last time Pruitt sees a shot from Mace in this one, as we are 12 minutes in. But that's exactly what they need to see. But it speaks to the last game the Lions played. The Lions defended well, and Pruitt had a big game, 8 saves. But at the end of the day, 2 overtime periods, and LMU was still unable to get on the board. So we'll see if we're able to get one past UCLA as the ball is played down the left-hand side. Bit too much on it, saved there. Crowd not agreeing with the call. The official eventually changing his decision. That'll be a goal kick back to Pruitt. UCLA getting the first shot on target in this one. The Lions had a chance earlier as the cross fizzed across face the goal, but first shot on goal is handled well by Charlie Pruitt. Pruitt set to take the goal kick.
Another thing that UCLA has done so far with their pace and controlling the ball is really quieting this LMU crowd. That could be a big part of LMU, like a big factor for them in this game. So hopefully they can get the crowd excited and get them cheering a little bit.
Yeah, it's something I would definitely agree with. At the start of the game, we saw that nice run made by the Lions, and the crowd came to life. But ever since, UCLA done a good job controlling possession and really dictating the tempo of the game. That's something they're going to need to do, as you mentioned, if they want to keep the crowd out of this one. Now back to McCullough, working it around, looking back inside. UCLA will control here by way of Haley Mace. Mace, again, one of the national players on this UCLA team, a member of the U.S. women's national team, so plenty of talent on this Bruins side that the Lions are going to have to contend with tonight. Again, UCLA working it down the middle, trying to force it into Fleming, but unable to do so. She's brought down. Robledo trying to turn the corner there and shielded well by the UCLA back line. Now plenty of space in the middle, but no support there for UCLA as they'll have to slow it down. Once again, looking to reverse field towards the right-hand side, which they favored early on. Back to the middle. We're seeing Reyes control the back line of UCLA, playing the center back position, and the play will be switched to McCullough. McCullough now has room to run, surveying her options, plays it towards the edge of the box. Nice back heel flick, but picked out by the Lions and cleared away back to UCLA.
UCLA still continues to have the Lions on their heels, getting closer and closer, it seems, as the game moves on to reaching that goal.
Yeah, this is going to be tough for the Lions to break out into more scoring opportunities. Things look good right off the bat, but ever since, on their heels, as you mentioned, all the Lions players in their defensive half, only Robledo making any sort of runs for LMU. We'll see if they can push forward. And it'll be battled throughout the right-hand side. Serena Bolden, another player, is going to have her hands full all night dealing with Sheehan down the right-hand side. And this one will be cleared, but errantly, and it'll go for the first corner kick of the game. It'll be UCLA's. Walking towards the post to take it will be Sanchez, as well as Rodriguez. Sanchez will opt to leave it for Rodriguez. Sanchez staying as the short option. It'll go to her. Now driving towards the top of the box is Sanchez. Into the box dangerously, shot low and deflected. Another possession coming to UCLA. The Lions trying to break free. Has a nice run there by Sanchez, who's been the key for UCLA early on. Deflection away from goal, no problem there for Charlie Pruitt. The Bruins flicking this one to the back post, way too much on it, nobody there, goal kick for the Lions. And 15 minutes into this one, Michael, what do you think of the Lions' play so far?
You know, so far, as we keep bringing up, just the possession of the game has really been favoring the Bruins. And while the Lions have been, holding their own on the defensive side, it just seems as the Bruins are just getting a little bit closer each time as they move the ball up the field, each possession. So now that the Lions have the ball, hopefully really they can get an attack going and, get this crowd alive, get them back into this game.
Yeah, the Lions, a team that traditionally this season has been good on the defensive side, just reading off the last couple scores for them. 0-0 tie in double OT against DePaul. Number 15 Northwestern, they held to only one goal, but yet again were unable to score, lost that one. Played another good program in Indiana, lost 2-1, and another loss to UC Irvine 2-1 coming off that. So the Lions entering this game riding a 3-game losing streak followed by the tie in their most recent game against DePaul. But the last win the Lions saw was on August 26th against Northeastern, as that one is yet again handled easily by Pruitt. And if the Lions want to win this one, the real question mark, as you mentioned, comes on the offensive side of things. The defense has done a good job so far, but really other than that initial chance, no signs of life for the Lions on the other side of the field. This one will fall to the Lions, driving down the right-hand side, trying to cross back into Robledo. Robledo will eventually get there. And yet again, taken away by the Bruins. UCLA suffocating the Lions in the midfield now, dominating possession. We'll see if LMU can break out of that.
And you can really see that with the Lions' attacks when they have the ball, down on the other side of the field. It really seems rushed and, kind of hurry, while UCLA is more methodical and almost dissecting the Lions' defense with every pass, with every, move they make, every run they have. So that's really interesting to see and speaks to the, the talent of UCLA's roster.
And one thing UCLA has done freely for this entire game is work the ball around their back line. We'll see if any adjustments are made to the Lions, potentially more of a full court press style defense for LMU to not allow UCLA to simply just control the ball by way of their center backs. This one will come in to Fleming. Fleming playing it forward, gets the 1-2 right back to her, but great defending there. Good physicality from Shelby Cormier, who's been in that Lions back line for a while. Good experience there. And Cormier currently wearing the armband for the Lions, so we'll see if she can get the team organized. That ball to Bolden takes a tough deflection and out of bounds back to the Bruins. UCLA once again contently controlling the ball in their defense. Still no substitutions for either team. Another through ball played there, looking for Fleming, just unable to get there. That'll be cleared out wide, but possession will stay with the Bruins. No throw in here. Sanchez trying to get the ball in the middle of the field, but well defended by LMU as they'll get it back. Lions trying to work the ball upfield now. Bit of space here coming down the right-hand side for the Lions, and it'll be given away. And that's the issue with the way the Lions are playing now, sending plenty of players behind the ball, but once they do end up gaining possession, no support going forward. We'll see if they can take advantage of this now off the throw-in, sending bodies forward, trying to get something going on the offensive end.
Yeah, that's an example right there. That Lions attack You know, we have one player against the Bruins 3, so it's really going to be hard, really playing more of a defensive-minded game approach as of right now. But, you know, Lions got to start getting on attack and put some pressure on this Bruin defense.
Yeah, slowly working the ball up the field by way of a couple throw-ins here are the Lions. Interesting style of play here, but whatever works for LMU is they now have a dangerous position here. We'll see if they're able to capitalize on this. Looks like they're setting up for a long throw into the box. Lions get the signal. This one will be fired towards the near post and easily cleared by UCLA, but pressure by the Lions. Another clearance by the Bruins. Melissa Lewis in the area for LMU as she hits this one back into the middle of the field. Maki Kono on that one. The Lions still in control of possession.
The Bruins just swarming to the ball every chance they get. You know, really suffocating this Lions offense. But let's see what the Lions can do, you know, have it in their portion of the field. So hopefully they can, you know, slow the game down a little bit and really, you know, start control the tempo of this game.
A bit of life here from the Lions after they spent the latter stages of the 15 minutes defending. Now working in UCLA's half as that one will be cleared by UCLA. Back to the Lions, but pressure applied here by the forwards of the Bruins. Eventually it'll be settled down by Allie King for LMU. Lions sending this one down the right-hand side off the head of Robledo and out of bounds. No, Robledo saves it. Good effort there by the Lions. She now has room to run down the right-hand side. Big cross into the box and just wide. Nice effort there, though, by Skylar Robledo, bringing the crowd alive with good effort there. It looked like the ball was going to go out of bounds, but able to cut it off and play a cross in just a bit. Too much on that one going out of bounds. Goal kick to UCLA will give possession back to the Bruins.
Yeah, that's great to see by Robledo. Really, you know, she's been a standout player so far for the Lions offense. So let's just see if they can, you know, continue to work, you know, over there on that side of the field. As you mentioned right now, you know, brought the crowd to life. So being at home field, that's something that's in their advantage. So hopefully the Lions can continue that trend.
Nice turn there in the midfield by the Bruins. Pushing forward is Sanchez. Sanchez plays it forward. Back to Sanchez. Sanchez has Rodriguez in the middle calling for the ball. Plays it back to Rodriguez. She now has it, putting it back into the box, but LMU once again all over it. It'll be Campbell for the Lions. Looking to move it forward down that right-hand side, and now Robledo getting the ball. Difficult touch there. I'll send it back to UCLA, but the same thing we've seen for the Lions. The amount of players are sending behind the ball, leaving Robledo on an island as far as going forward. Going to need to give her some support if they want to score some goals. Big through ball down the right-hand side, takes the deflection off the heel of Sheehan and will go back to the Bruins. Into Sheehan here, driving forward, plays it back into the middle of the field. Rodriguez on the ball for the Bruins. She'll play this one in, and well handled by King. King sends this one out wide.
You know, as you see right there, as we get a little bit of position, a little bit on the attack, our players just have to slow down a little bit to wait for the other lines to kind of catch up. And, you know, since we're playing, Lions are playing such a defensive, you know, game so far.
Yeah, it's difficult for the Lions to get things going instantly on the counterattack by way of their formation, but if they're able to sit on the ball a bit and bring bodies forward, that could really help them. We'll see if they're able to get more possession as we go forward, just about reaching the 25th minute. This long through ball will be easily sniffed out by Lewis. Once again, attacking are the Bruins. This ball is laid off, and a nice move there by Reyes will find her in some space along the right-hand side. Reyes opts to play it back. This will be Fleming for the Bruins, once again, Canadian national team member. And Rodriguez will send it back to McCullough. McCullough will reverse field. The Lions still showing no signs of wanting to pressure the back lines of UCLA, opting to stay in front of the Bruin team. Big through ball, dangerous there, but well defended by the Lions. And Cormier is fouled. Possession will come back to LMU. And these fouls offer the Lions a good opportunity to set up some sort of offensive formation. Now, as we see the Lions sending more players forward, Bolden amongst those. Serena Bolden, someone who's traditionally scored goals for this Lions team. We'll see if they can get her involved offensively and turn things around. This one will be played back to Kono. Kono looking to reverse the field. just not on the same page there. It'll go back to UCLA.
And the margin of error is so slim with the Lions offense. As you can see, a pass is just a little bit off, and the UCLA is quick to smother them and turn the possession around.
Handy now pressuring for the Lions. UCLA making another big run down the middle. This one will be picked out, but a foul called by the referee on the Bruins. Possession will go back to LMU. Just about 25 minutes into this one, UCLA dominating possession. Your stats so far, the Bruins have 2 shots, the Lions have none. Shots on goal, UCLA 1, LMU 0. 1 save out of the senior Charlie Pruitt, no saves yet out of the goalkeeper Lauren Brzezicki of the Bruins. 1 corner kick for UCLA, none for the Lions, and neither team has been caught offside so far. Once again, the Lions trying to control possession. It'll be Lupo sending this one forward down the right-hand side. And pressure there by Robledo was dealt with well by the UCLA back line. Foul on the Lions' possession, back to the Bruins. We're just about halfway through the first half here, Michael. What do you think the Lions need to do if they want to turn things around and show some signs of life, maybe get a goal going into halftime?
You know, just from what I've been seeing so far, it looks like the Lions are playing not to lose as opposed to trying to win. They're really letting UCLA come to them and just waiting for them to attack. And I think the Lions really just need to turn the tables on the Bruins here and really try to put pressure on them. Their goalkeeper has been, had a pretty easy night so far, so hopefully we can just flip the script on the Bruins and, try to have more of an offensive show come the rest of this game.
A dangerous play there and a nice tackle. Crowd didn't like that one, but appeared to be clean from where I'm sitting. Once again, Rodriguez trying the spectacular outside of the foot shot, but dealt with well by the back line of LMU as that one is blocked. UCLA now a couple good chances as the cross just scrapes across the side of goal. And then the follow-up shot by Rodriguez is blocked by the center backs of LMU. More pressure from UCLA here. Now flying forward as McCullough lays it off to Sanchez, but well defended by Kono. And that one will be cleared away by the captain, Cormier. Another throw in back to UCLA. It'll be Sheehan to take it. Substitution here for the Bruins. It'll be Sonny Dunphy entering the game for Kennedy Faulkner. Once again, UCLA in possession. Dangerous through ball played, but deflected well by Campbell. This one will go out of the danger zone for now, but controlled once again by UCLA. Pressing forward and looking for Sanchez, but passed just a bit too far away. But yet again, UCLA, whenever they make a mistake, they always find a way to recover and regain possession. That's something the Lions are going to need to figure out going forward in this one, is how to make the most of the mistakes that UCLA has made in this first half. Good pressure there by Maki Kono. And she has taken down the official, having none of it. Foul called. And that's more of what the Lions need going forward, an aggressiveness like that to get the ball and simply take it from UCLA, go forward and make something happen.
I would agree with that. And once the Lions do have the ball, what I'm looking for from them is a little bit more accurate passing. So far their passes have been just a little bit off, and then it's been right into UCLA's favor. It's exactly what they're trying to get the Lions to do, put some pressure on these lines, and hopefully, just be more crisp with the ball, and I think things will turn out well for them.
Yeah, you're right. That speaks to what we talked about earlier of how the Lions not having too much possession when they do get it, a bit too startled on the ball. Need to settle things down, potentially just move it around the back line, control possession, get a better feel of the ball than they've had so far. A nice turn there by Sheehan on Bolden, but Bolden chasing her down. Big through ball down the middle will be picked out by the Lions and hit towards Shelby Cormier. Cormier unable to get there, and it'll be a throw in for the Bruins. Looks like Reyes will take it. And it'll be a substitution yet again for the Bruins of UCLA. Exiting the game will be number 5, McCullough. And entering the game, we will get you the player as soon as it registers for us. That'll be the second substitution of the game for the Bruins. The Lions yet to make a substitution. controlling possession for the Lions. Entering the game for the Bruins, it was Chloe Castaneda. Bolden trying to chase this one down, but yet again, Bolden all alone up front in this formation the Lions have been playing so far. Ball played down the left-hand side for UCLA. Nice aggressiveness there by Handy, but it'll go once again to the Bruins. It'll be interesting to see if the Lions make any major tactical changes as we enter the last 15 minutes of the half, potentially playing more aggressive offensively. Obviously a difficult decision to make with how strong UCLA is going forward. This one will be played back to the backline of UCLA. Big cross into the middle, picked out easily by Charlie Pruitt. And once again, Pruitt, strong half for her as she's seen a couple chances for UCLA, but so far keeping them scoreless 30 minutes in.
Yeah, I am interested to see if the Lions do make any changes, especially approaching halftime, just to, play a little bit more of their game and their style. Playing at home, you want the UCLA, to change the way they play. But so far, it's been all UCLA here so far, really just controlling the ball and keeping the Lions at bay.
Yeah, I would agree with you. The key for the Lions would definitely be to play more active than reactive when it comes to the second half. We'll see if they can start putting UCLA on their heels going forward, as we have just about 15 minutes left in the half. Heading in 0-0 would likely be viewed as a good result for the Lions. UCLA obviously being one of the best teams in the nation, but this LMU team just unable to get some serious scoring opportunities toward the latter stage of this half. A goal would change the momentum drastically heading in halftime. We'll see if either team is able to open up the score sheet in the last 15 minutes. This one will be worked into Sanchez. Sanchez plays it back into the middle, sniffed out well by the Lions, but once again, UCLA, anytime they make a mistake, right on it and winning the ball back. And once again, just controlling possession, methodical play by the Bruins. This one is played to Sanchez in space. Sanchez surveying her options, plays it to the back post, and a bit too much on it there, as Villacorta was almost there for a header on goal, but it'll go for a goal kick to Charlie Pruitt.
Yeah, and as we, near the 32nd minute now, really the Lions just need to keep UCLA at 0 before half. That would be huge for them going into the second half, and then they can make some adjustments, maybe figure out what's been wrong on offense so far for them. So hopefully they can stay 0-0, or maybe the Lions can get a goal, before halftime's over.
Right, I would anticipate some changes for the Lions going into the half, but the biggest thing would be keeping UCLA at 0 heading in there. Don't want to allow a team of their caliber to get a goal heading into the half. This one will be played around and cleared into the bench of the Lions, going back to UCLA as they try to snag a goal before halftime. Once again, played to the back line of the Bruins. Sanchez on it. Sanchez making a run towards the right side, plays this one through, but cleared out well by Lupo for the Lions. Robledo pressuring now. Ball will go back to the goalkeeper, Brzezinski, who has been very silent so far in this half, not seeing any shots on goal so far. Now pushing forward is UCLA. Another ball down the left-hand side towards the substitute Castaneda. Castaneda trying to run this one down, and she does. Playing it back along the sideline. Bruins trying to get something going. Driving down the sideline. Ball played back into the middle and handled well by Maki Kono, and she will clear this one out for a Bruin throw-in.
Sanchez really, has been the quarterback, if you will, for this Bruins attack. Really setting up her teammates well and giving her teammates, good opportunities on goal to challenge Pruitt so far.
Yeah, she's been the key for UCLA when it comes to building through the middle. We'll see if the Lions key in on her in the second half. And any other adjustments the Lions make will be basically the key to the game. If they can switch something up and find a formation or a different tactical change, potentially substitutions that can allow them to get some more pressure on UCLA. Another thing to watch for the Bruins, you mentioned the goalkeeper, Lauren Brzezinski, hasn't seen any action yet, and that's some of the difficulties of playing in goal when it comes to soccer. Eventually she will be called upon, and a shot here, not the contact that Mace was looking for. It'll roll side to the left-hand side of the goal, rather. Another goal kick for Pruitt. But Most likely, Brzezinski will be tested in the second half, and someone who hasn't seen that much action in this game will see she's able to rise to the moment when she is called upon. Charlie Pruitt, on the other hand, in a rhythm for the Lions as she's seen some good opportunities and handled them well. Speaking of Pruitt, she sends this one towards the midfield, easily headed back by UCLA. Pressure now by the Bruins. They control it towards the left-hand side of the box. UCLA looking across. Ball towards the back post, and this one will be headed away by the Lions. Well defended by Cormier. Golden shielding off the attacker here. And Cormier will clear this one down, and it will fall to Mace. Mace once again pushing forward, taking the space she's given. Mace trying to play that one through to Sheehan, but unable to control it. Now Robledo will have the ball fall to her. Difficult touch by Robledo, but good hustle as she's running this one down towards the sideline, and it will go out of bounds for a UCLA throw. Skylar Robledo doing all she can in this first half, but the Lions just unable to get her any scoring chances. LMU looking to get more possession as this game goes forward, but UCLA has done well. Maki Kono, another good play there. She's been active for the Lions. Nice turn there by Kono. She's been a bright spot for LMU in the center midfield, but she does give that one away for a Bruin throw. But that's the aggressiveness the Lions need if they want to start taking the ball away from UCLA, and they want to generate some opportunities going forward.
You know, it's good to see, as you mentioned, being aggressive, but when they do get the ball, I would like to see the Lions, you know, act like they've had the ball this game, you know, not be so rushed, not be so startled, just try to take a deep breath and control the pace, pass it around, even if you said like in the back line, just really establish their position so far.
Yeah, potentially take a page out of UCLA's book there, as you mentioned, moving the ball around the back line just to get a feel of it, which the Lions are having a tough time doing early on here. Once again, UCLA bringing it up the middle of the field. Lions sitting back, staying in front of the Bruins. Controlling the ball in the midfield. This one will come down to Mace. It's a good through ball in. Dangerous look now for the Bruins. Well done again, Charlie Pruitt. Another big play there coming out and punching the ball away from the feet of Reyes. Lions still tied 0-0 here, approaching the 37th minute at Sullivan Field.
Yeah, that was about the closest UCLA has come so far to really challenging Pruitt. But she, you know, held her own, and you know, that was a great save so far. So really keeping UCLA at bay, even though they're on the attacking area, you know, really keeping it close, and 0-0 still in this 37th minute.
A veteran move there by Pruitt. Again, things that won't show up on the stat sheet in the saves category, but definitely preventing a legitimate scoring chance for the Bruins. Pruitt, definitely the key for the Lions in the back line. Another good save by her there as that one is played forward and headed out wide. And this one will be saved. It'll result in a corner kick for the Bruins. UCLA, this will be their second corner kick of the game. The short option for the Bruins. Spreading things out now. Looking like they will play this one into the box. This one is driven towards the penalty spot. Nice shot and a goal for the Bruins. Brilliant execution on the corner kick. Breaks the scoring drought in this one. Your score is now UCLA 1, LMU 0.
That was a great setup out of the corner kick. Really well executed by the Bruins. And you know, as we mentioned, we thought it'd be huge for the Lions to enter halftime 0-0, but just couldn't do it so far. 1-0 down to the Bruins in the 38th minute.
That goal coming in the 38th minute, as you mentioned, has to be deflating for the Lions. A great low ball played towards the penalty area, combined with a couple decoy runs, opened up a free shot on goal, and that one was driven in the top right corner, just past the outstretched arm of Charlie Pruitt. And that'll open up UCLA's scoring account here, 1-0. The big question now, how does LMU respond? The goal for UCLA is assisted by Annika Rodriguez and scored by one of the key players that Michael highlighted in this game, Jesse Fleming. So we'll see how LMU responds now. UCLA coming out, scoring first, entering the half. Big for LMU to try and regain some momentum. Definitely couldn't allow the Bruins to get a second goal heading into halftime. That would be extremely deflating for this Lions side, trying to gain some momentum, potentially generating a couple chances in these last 5 minutes heading into halftime.
And really interesting too, looking back at UCLA so far this season, 29 corner kicks to their opponent's 11. And in this game, you know, it's been steady. 2 corners for UCLA, 0 for the Lions. So look for the Lions to, you know, try to get some corners, just continue to put some pressure on these Bruins.
Bruins continuing to cross the ball in as that clearance will go off the arm of a Bruin and back to LMU. Pruitt to take the free kick for the Lions. Lions yet to make any substitutions. Interesting decision there by the coaching staff. We'll see if they try and get some fresh legs out there and potentially catch UCLA sleeping in their back line. Long ball played back down towards Lewis for the Lions, just past her range. Thrown goes back to UCLA. Now Sheehan in control.
Yeah, same story continues with the Lions. Just can't seem to keep the control of the ball whenever they do get it. So really would like to see that change come second half.
Now dangerous ball played in here, but once again a bit too much on it, and the Lions will let this one go out for a goal kick. We are approaching the 40th minute now here at Sullivan Field. The Lions yet to register a shot on goal or a shot in general, something that they would very much like to change, trying to get some momentum heading into the locker room. The offense, no signs of life for the Lions up until now, but plenty of soccer left to be played, so we'll see if they can turn that around as this one bounces around the midfield and will fall back to Lupo for the Lions. She'll clear this one. Another deflection off a UCLA player. It'll still stay in bounds, and this one will be rolled out of bounds by the Lions, thrown to the Bruins. UCLA taking their time on this one. Throw in for the Bruins. We'll see if they opt to throw it long into the box. And they will throw it towards the near post. This one headed back into the middle for UCLA. Well cleared by the Lions, but still in danger. Another ball down the sideline. UCLA looking to cross this ball, going towards the back post, floating up in the air there, bouncing around, and it'll fall back towards the edge of the box. Shot deflected away. Big block there by Melissa Lewis. Keeps the shot off goal, but it will be another corner kick for UCLA, their third of the game.
Bruins really applying the pressure here to close out the first half and really trying to get, you know, another goal on the board and trying to, you know, enter the half 2-0. So hopefully the Lions can, you know, hunker down and, you know, keep them away from the goal and help their goalie out a little bit and Pruitt.
This one will be played short to Sanchez for the Bruins. Sanchez in control of the ball now. Nice little flick there by Sanchez, but it's sniffed out well by Serena Bolden as she'll clear this one out for another UCLA throw. Once again for the Bruins to take the throw will be Annika Rodriguez, the player who assisted their initial goal. Kono once again battling in the midfield for the Lions. This one will be eventually cleared out into the stands. Thrown back to Rodriguez. Quick throw for the Bruins. UCLA working it around the back line. Appears to be Mace moving forward here. Mace firing one towards the back post and once again easily handled by Charlie Pruitt. Pruitt urging the Lions to push forward. Bolden once again now moving up into more of an attacking role for LMU as this ball is coming towards her. We'll see if she can knock it down. This one will fall to Robledo. Robledo hits this one forward down the left-hand side. The crowd now urging this Lions team on.
Yeah, I'd like to see the Lions to give Robledo some help, as you mentioned. Very much on an island, so to speak, when she, you know, has possession down there in the Bruins zone. So really would like to see the Lions, you know, help her out a little bit up there.
And now UCLA pushing forward once again. Mace taking charge of this one. Working down the left-hand side. She'll swing this one back. This one will be crossed into the box and knocked down by the Bruins. Dangerous here for the Lions. Working around the box are the Bruins on the left-hand side. Couple step overs there. Good pressure there by the Lions to clear this one out for a Bruins throw. Just about a minute and a half left in this first half of action, and the Lions still unable to get things going offensively. The defense been essentially bend but don't break for a majority of the half, despite the goal by UCLA. The Bruins charging forward here now. Shot on goal will sail over the bar. Pruitt appeared to be all over that, but the chance taken there by UCLA. It appeared to be Karina Rodriguez firing from about 35 yards out.
Yeah, and despite the lack of the offense for the Lions, really have been impressed so far with the defense, considering how much UCLA has had possession of the ball, especially in the Lions attacking zone. So besides that one goal, Lions have done their job so far on the defensive side.
Yeah, just under a minute left here in the first half of action as Pruitt will send this one into the midfield. It'll bounce around and eventually end up with Kono. Ball played down the right-hand side by the Lions. No support there for LMU, but Robledo once again charging forward. Unable to get there. It'll be Brzezinski on the ball to Mace. Clock ticking here for both sides. 15 seconds left in the half. Mace playing a dangerous ball through here. Chance for UCLA as the time set to expire. Shot by Sanchez just above the bar. And that should just about do it for the first half of action. Couple stats from the first half. Your score is UCLA 1, LMU 0. Shots on target. UCLA has 2 out of their 8 total shots, or rather 9 total shots. Their Lions yet to register a shot or shot on target. 1 saved by Charlie Pruitt. 3 fouls for the Bruins, 2 for the Lions. 3 corners for UCLA, none for the Lions. And neither team has been caught offsides yet. So after your first half of action, Michael, what'd you think?
As you just mentioned, the shots and the shot on goals from the corners have really been the tail of the game so far. Really look for the Lions to make some adjustments coming up in the second half to really, put the Bruins on their heels.
Yeah, you're right. Lions need to make some adjustments if they want to get back into this game in the second half. So we'll take a short break here and join you with the second half.